Hello, welcome back. Fred in the Shed One radio video today. Going to talk a little bit about the Yaesu 450 Delta. You've seen this radio in plenty of my videos. It's a HF radio, it's a ham radio. I do use it on sideband, of course. Now, in the world of ham radios and HF, it is a cheap radio. It is an entry-level radio. Now, that will come a bit of a shock if you're just starting out in the hobby. Maybe you're sort of a CBer, you know, and you're sort of kind of looking at these radios. Well, there is quite a substantial price jump when you get into HF gear, ham radios. But for a ham radio, it's actually it's a cheap entry-level radio. A very good radio, certainly if you're starting out with your ham ticket. It's a good radio to sort of start with. The reason I want to talk about the 450 today is that last week I was on the 305 net, and before I get into that, I'm just going to say that, oh my god, radio is absolutely dead at the moment around my QTH, and that includes the FM Muppets as well, the old Charlie Brown. I haven't known it as dead as this, well, since I came back on radio, to be honest. I do feel kind of guilty because I'm encouraging people to, you know, go out and get on radio and all the rest of it, and even in my own QTH. Unfortunately at the moment, I don't know why, but I know the sort of band conditions are quite poor, but even on the old Charlie Brown, just on the plain CB, everything is really down. So if you're just starting out on your hobby, don't be disheartened, because it's pretty quiet for everyone. You have to make kind of arrangements to meet people on air. So, you know, get onto Facebook, Twitter, all that, you know, get yourself some meets going on. Anyway, back to the radio. So last week, Steve Charlie Tango 318 Mobile obviously features a lot in my videos. He came on air. He didn't mention anything, and his audio to me was a little bit bassy. I could work out that he'd probably got a different microphone. He normally uses the CRT Superstar 9900, and I figured he'd probably got a power microphone because it was picking up a little bit of noise that was in from his car. So I knew he'd changed the microphone. Didn't sound as good as his normal audio on a 9900, but I didn't sort of say anything, you know. Anyway, he then asked me how his signal was and how his audio was, and his signal was slightly up, but I did tell him that his audio was a little bit poorer than it would normally be on a 9900. So then we had a ham on. Rob's a amateur radio operator, and he was in sort of Harpenden, and then Steve sort of announced that he was using a 450. Steve's got himself a Yaesu 450D, and he had that set up in the car, and he's using the standard MH31 microphone, which is the microphone that comes with the radio. Now, when I bought my Yaesu, there's sort of quite a bit of controversy about this sort of microphone. I mean, to start with, it's a very nice, you know, feeling microphone. It's nice to hold in the hand. It's sort of quite heavy, and you've got a few sort of short key buttons on there. But when I came on, I'd already read about this microphone in the sort of reviews, and everyone sort of said that it didn't work particularly well straight out of the box with the Yaesu 450. And in fact, the earlier microphone, and I think it was the MH61 or 67, I did do a video on it, but the earlier microphone was better. And if you could get hold of the earlier one, then, you know, no one could understand why Yaesu really has sort of put this microphone with the 450. So to be honest, I kind of quickly dismissed this microphone, and I bought a MH, as I say, I think it's 61 or 67. I bought a clone microphone from sort of China, and not as nice to hold. It's a little bit clicky. It feels a bit like a sort of CB, like a Cobra CB sort of microphone, but whereas that is a dynamic microphone, this is a condenser microphone, and straight away my audio reports were better. People say it cleared up my my audio. So the old MH31 there, which came with it, I kind of sort of, you know, binned that, used the clone microphone, and then eventually I upgraded to the Yaesu MD100 bass mic, which is universally accepted that certainly with the 450 Delta there, this microphone really works well with this radio. Once you get onto the bass microphone, yeah, that's about really where you want to be. So anyway, so going back to the story, so Steve is using the MH31 that came with his radio, and Rob said to him, you know, on the back there you've got a tone switch, and he said, I think he said set it to number 2, and that should cut off some of the bass, and it should boost the higher frequencies. So Steve switched over to number 2, and suddenly his audio, from my opinion, improved dramatically. It actually sounded better than the 9900, and also all of the background noise from his car engine and things that he was picking up, that one as well, completely. And I was very impressed that the standard microphone works so well. Now it could just be that, you know, Steve's voice, it depends on your voice. It might suit this dynamic microphone better than mine did, but it did make me think that maybe I should get the standard MH31 and maybe, you know, give it another go. So what I want to do in this video is I want to get onto the 305, and if you're testing your audio, it's a very kind of difficult subject. You really need to speak to someone that you would speak to someone sort of normally over a period of time, so they're used to your signal, they're used to your audio, and get an audio report from them. If you ask anyone, you know, sort of willy-nilly if you like, people have got different interpretations to what they consider to be a good audio. Some people like the sort of deep, bassy kind of BBC plummy sound that you generally get out of, say, a Yaesu. Some people might prefer slightly smoother sound that you get out of an Icon, which may not be as loud. You know, and everyone's got their own idea. So it's always a good idea to speak to someone that knows your audio normally, and then they can give you an honest opinion. So I want to get Dave 061 on the net, and then what I want to do is I want to do some audio recording on using the Yaesu MD100, which I know is a good audio, and then I'm going to switch directly over to the dynamic microphone, the MH31, and then I'm going to try that tone switch on the back. I'm pretty sure I used it before. I'm pretty sure I've done all this before, but it was a while ago, so I think it's time because my antenna's been raised and things, and I think it's time I sort of revisited it. So that's what I want to do. Hopefully I might try and catch Steve. I don't know if I'll get him on this video, but if I can get Steve, and maybe get Steve to do a little bit of recording from his car, then I might just be able to patch that on the end of this video so we can hear it from his perspective, and hopefully we can sort of hear a difference. As to the clone microphone there, the Sundelay, I did do a video on these at the time. I did compare the two audios on these, and what I'll do is at the end of this video I will put a little pop-up for that, so if you want to sort of go ahead and look at that, because this microphone, you know, these are only about £13–14, and they do work remarkably well with the Yaesu, even if they just do feel a little bit cheap. So there we go. That's what we're going to try and do. And so I'm going to go on to the 305 now. Get Dave on there, and then we'll be swapping microphones about. So cheers. Thanks for watching the introduction.
Let's see if Mr. Fred and Mr. 318 come up. Yeah, Fred, you there?
Yeah, copy, Dave. 318, you online?
Yeah, I'm in, mate. What mic are you running at the minute, Fred, and what rig?
Right, okay. So, yeah, right, okay. I'm running just a standard, what I'd normally run. This is the MD100, on the 450. Running at just about 40 watts, I believe. So, yeah, this will be my normal audio. So, obviously, I'll put it over to you, Dave, assuming that I sound as I would always sound to you, Dave. Over.
Yeah, sounds good. You're giving me a 7 and peaking at 9 and a good radio 5, and that's the MD100, yeah?
Yeah, that's a Rog. That's the MD100 bass mic. And okay, well, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to unplug it, and I'm going to go on to the standard handheld mic. That's the MH31, and that's on the tone switch, which is on 1. So we'll hear what that sounds. So if you could stand by, next time I come on, I'll be on the other microphone.
Okay, I'll just go over to Steve there. Yeah, good afternoon, Steve. Hope you've had a good day, mate.
As we came here for this test, I'll go back to Fred. Right, Fred, are you on the standard mic now?
Yeah, cheers there, Steve. Right, this is the standard microphone, and this is on the position 1, which, as before, has been a little bit bassy. So I'll do some audio test. Mary had a little lamb, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll put it back to you, Steve. How's that sounding at your radio?
Sounds a bit woolly, in all honesty, Fred. Give us an over of position 2.
Okay, that's now switched on to the tone switch. Is on the filter setting number 2. So 1 2 1 2 3 4. Mary had a little lamb. Its fleece was white as snow. Back to 318.
Yeah, that's a bit better. It's a bit better. What setting have you got your EQ at for the mic, Fred?
Just a standard setting there, Steve. I think it's at number 2. I haven't actually changed anything on the radio. What about you, Dave? What's your perspective there? That was position 1 and then position 2 versus the MD100. So I'll put that back to 061.
Yeah. Well, the first setting on the standard mic was, like Steve said, a bit bassy, bit woolly there, and then it changed on the second setting there, which sounded a lot better, but it's not a patch. Excuse me, but not a patch on the for sharpness on the MD100, mate.
Okay, cheers there, Dave. All right, I'm back on the MD100 now. So yeah, so it does seem that position 2 does sort of clear it up, but it looks like that, from your opinion then, Dave, that the MD100 is still king. Roger.
Oh blimey, yeah, that's very sharp and clear, mate. No problem at all there. Yes, far superior. Yeah, the second setting on the standard mic is good, but the MD100 is a no contest job, mate.
Okay, cheers for that, Dave. All right, I'll let Steve have the last word. So, Steve, really, it's really between the standard mic on tone setting 2, and obviously I'm now back on the MD100. I know you're mobile, but can you hear the difference, Steve? Over.
Yeah, definitely, Fred. Definitely. I would like to know what EQ setting that you're running the radio on, though, Fred.
Okay, Steve. Well, I can probably just do that off air if you like. I can't, whilst I can have a quick look. I think it was number 2 that I'm running, but anyway, okay. Well, that was just that little test there. So thanks very much, fellas. Steve, did you have your camera running by any chance?
Yeah, it's near enough always running, Fred. That's why it's getting worn out, mate. But yeah, it's done a lot of hours, so yeah, the camera is rolling, mate.
Okay, well, cheers for that. I don't know if you'll be putting it up on YouTube, but if you do, I might nick a little bit and add it onto the video. Okay, well, I think if you guys want to get back on a 305, because we've left Chris down now, and I will have a look on what EQ setting I'm running, Steve, and then I'll let you know before we depart from that. But yeah, cheers for the test, fellas. Always appreciate your time. Right, so that concludes the test. And the results are pretty much as before. People said that the MH31 there, the standard dynamic microphone on the Yaesu, this works quite well, but again my voice sounds a little bit woolly, just comes across slightly woolly there. And even with the tone setting on number 2, I did go on the radio off camera and I did change the EQ setting to number 3 just to give it a little bit more of a lift, but that still didn't really have all that much of effect. So not a great report really for my voice anyway on the MH. And of course when I switched over to the MD100 straight away, people said that had sounded it's quite interesting, isn't it? I do think
clear.
these sort of, well, as I say, not all that in love with the MH31, to be honest. I do like the way it handles, but for my voice anyway, just doesn't seem to suit the radio as well as the MD100. So the MD100 there remains the king microphone. I mean, I think they're remarkable. About £120 new, I think these are. And I think I paid £65 for this, and saw one on eBay, boxed up, looked absolutely pristine. Buy it now, £75. Just a little bit of delivery on that. You can't go wrong. Anyway, there you go. I hope that was interesting. If it was, please give the video the thumbs up. And as always, if you're not already subscribed to Freddy in the Shed 1, please hit that subscribe button, and I'll be doing some more radio videos very, very, very shortly. But as for now, thanks for your time. There'll be a couple of little pop-ups that I will put up on the screen at the end of this video. I will find the one where I test this against the condenser microphone. So that was the original video. You can have a look at that. But anyway, as for now, as always, cheers. Thanks for watching. Stay safe. And I'll catch you all on the next one.